If you have never seen a movie in 4DX, then I would highly recommend you watch Avatar: The Way of Water in 4DX format. Avatar Theory here, hope you're doing well and having a fantastic day. And earlier today I watched The Way of Water in 4DX format, and I can honestly say that I really enjoyed it, and it felt like a joyride through Pandora from beginning to end. If you want to know my thoughts on the movie itself, the characters and the story, then look at my spoiler-free review on my channel, as this video will purely focus on the 4DX format of The Way of Water. The experience on watching this movie in 4DX was unlike any other that I've experienced, and I've honestly never felt the seats being this intense as it did in The Way of Water. During big action set pieces, and especially during Banshee flight scenes, it really made me feel like I was right there in the middle of everything. The movie was in 3D as well as in high frame rate, and during my initial review I did state that sometimes the high frame rate took me out of the experience, but I do feel that it worked for the 4DX format. Sometimes during big action scenes, it almost felt like I was going to fall off my seat, and funny enough, the person next to me put their popcorn on their knees and I kept thinking to myself that it's going to fall off. Funny enough, during the action scene where the Na'vi attacks the RDA trains, which happens fairly early on in the movie without going into any spoilers, I saw popcorn all over the floor and the person next to me had nothing to snack on for the rest of the movie. It goes without saying, but don't have an open beverage while watching a movie in 4DX, and don't keep your snacks loose on your legs as it will fall off, especially in this movie. The scent through the movie was fairly in line with what was happening on screen, so when they were in the jungle you had sort of a jungle or plant-like smell, and when they were in the water or near the ocean there was a fresh scent going around, and the water splashes wasn't as much as I expected, as I was a little bit concerned given the fact that temperatures were hitting negative 15 degrees outside. With scenes that had rain in it, there were light raindrops or light water drops from the top, and most of the scenes containing the ocean, such as Payagan splashing or the Na'vi riding Ilus, has light water splashes from the front. It wasn't intense, so there wasn't one moment where I needed to take off my glasses and wipe it down, as I felt it was just the perfect amount. The scenes where Lo'ak was training with an Ilu and Jake training with the skimwing was probably the most intense scenes with the seats moving, as it really made me feel like I was right there with Jake on the skimwing or right next to Lo'ak trying to tame an Ilu. I didn't really feel much going on around my feet, and the punches in the lower back or the lower part of the seat felt like a light massage at times, as I think if it would have been any harder it would probably have hurt my back. The one annoying thing or distraction that occurred was each time smoke appeared. I feel the smoke pushed out in the front of the cinema was a little bit too thick, and it caused the movie, or projector in this case, to have the movie display on the smoke that caused a clear shadow mark on the screen. It was only a few seconds at a time when it does happen, but it was a distraction nonetheless. Oddly enough, despite advertising clearly stating that there will be flashing lights during certain scenes, that did not happen at all. I know this specific cinema that I watched this movie in is capable of the flashing lights, because when I was there watching Avatar Remastered in 4DX, it did have flashing lights during certain scenes, so I don't really know why it was absent during The Way of Water, but I was honestly fine with it, because I felt that the flashing lights was a huge distraction during Avatar Remastered. I have had a couple of 4DX experiences in the past at theme parks, and as for movies, I've seen Star Wars Episode 7 as well as Avatar Remastered in 4DX, so The Way of Water would be my third time experiencing it in the cinemas. It is by far the best 4DX experience that I've ever had, and certainly the most intense, so if you have any severe injury, especially in the lower back, or if you struggle with back pain, then I would certainly recommend that you do not see this movie in 4DX format. Did this take me out of the experience? I wouldn't say so, no, but then again, this is my third time seeing Avatar: The Way of Water, so I knew what to expect when going into this movie, thus it is a little hard to say if it distracted me from the story. One thing that I really liked about 4DX in this movie is when characters are relaxing on the water, there are slow, subtle movements of the seats going up and down as the ocean moves up and down, and that honestly felt really relaxing. Also, when there were intense moments on screen, as I said, you really feel it in the seats, but when there were quiet, calm and serious moments on screen, mostly dialogue related, I really took in those quiet moments more than what I did when I watched it in IMAX format, as it felt like it gave me a moment to breathe and really appreciate the scene. But I guess that is the whole point of watching a movie in 4DX. The screen is much smaller though, at least at the cinema that I was watching at, so of course I would still recommend you watch it in IMAX format if you want the best picture, the biggest screen, and the loudest audio. But if you want an experience that is unlike any other, an experience that really pulls you into Pandora, then you can't go wrong by watching Avatar: The Way of Water in 4DX format. Just make sure you hold onto your popcorn and make use of those quiet moments to take a sip of your soda, as the running time of over 3 hours can be a downside if you struggle to watch anything in 4DX. But if you have watched Avatar: The Way of Water in 4DX or any other movie in 4DX, let me know your thoughts on it in the comments below, and for more Avatar content, have a look at the rest of my channel. Until next time, have a fantastic day and stay safe.